What's up, Mananap? Welcome to Code Conyu tutorial. So for today, I am going to continue our linked list ADT. So this time, to to see our the nodes or the elements in our list or in our linked list, we are going to create an operation in traversing each node in our list. So this time, we are going to create a traverse method. So traversal, by the way, uh, traversal is a technique in which it's going to visit all the nodes. So visiting each node in the list. So it's going traverse means you're going to visit from the beginning of the node or the head until the end of the list, or the beginning of the list until the end of the list. So this would be in this should not have any parameter, but it is going to return a string value. Okay, so but it can be void. It depends to you, no? So but this time I'm going to create my traversal method as it will return traverse method. So they have here string reverse, sorry, traverse. Okay, so all right. Now I'm going to have here, let's say, assign a third party variable to hold whatever I am going to hold. So, and then I'm going to have here return hold. Okay. So after this, what I'm going to do is I will test first if my node is empty. So let's say if is empty. Of course, if my list is empty, I would just display here uh, list is, let's say, empty, something like that. Otherwise, I am going to have here. So first is I'm going to assign a node, okay, and um, this would be our link to visit each of the node in that particular list. So let's name it as link. So let's say we have head. So meaning to say this would assign the assign link to have the address or pointer in C++, or assign linked or assign the link to have the address or pointer of the head. So in linked list, we have to know the beginning of the list. So the only way for us to know that is to determine the head. That's why it's very important for you to understand that's in linked list there's head and there's tail. The head is the beginning of the node in that list, and the tail is the end of the list. And whichever is a node pointing to null, that means that's the tail. Whichever is node link has direct link to a head is our head. Okay, so that is why we'll have to assign this link to be our head. Okay, so because this will change its value, and we cannot afford of changing the head's address a new value. So we'll have to assign it with the and that a third party variable. So which is link. So this time I'm now going to have here a while loop. Okay, so the while statement is going to be the end of the list loop or the end of file loop or something like that. No, it's just the same, but this time I'm going to name it as like end of the list. So to do that, I would be uh, the list is I would be creating a test logic here that the list is going to end if the link recognizes null value. So if once it visited each of the node in that particular list and it recognizes the null pointer or the null address, this would mean that it is already the end of the list. And then after that, we now assign the call to have, let's say we have here link that data. So every time it visits, it is going to get the value or the data value. And then after that, that's it. And then we have here uh, link that next. Okay. So wait, link that, sorry, I just left one. Link that next. So this would increment the increment each node. So meaning it's going to visit each of the node, each of the next node. Okay. So it's going to visit again node per node in that list. So this would get, okay, so get and append data of each node to hold. So after all this, and then this would expect that the node that we inserted will uh, will be the data of that particular node will be appended or assigned or something like concatenated to the whole variable, which is a string. Okay. Now after that we have here since this one is like, so we have here, yeah, we have already returned all. So let's go now to our test linked list. So let's say for an instance, so let's have here uh, empty, okay, and then let's have here ll dot add at first. So let's say we are going to add seven, and then let's have here, let's see if it's not empty anymore, and let's see if we have here, okay, ll that traverse. Okay, so okay, so let's run the program. So empty true. Once now after line 8, so you have just added the first element of your list, which is 7. So add at first. So therefore, in at line 10 now, in your operation is empty is going to return false because you have already an element of 7. So now let's go, let's add some more. Let's say ll that add first, let's say 5, and ll that add first, let's say 3. And we are going to traverse. Okay, so let's see what will happen. So you will have here 3, 5, 7. So 7 is inserted as the new node. So this time it becomes the head, and then so it becomes the head, right? So you have 3, sorry, 7. Okay, so this is your head. Let's assuming this is your head, and this points to 7 as a node. Okay, and then this would have another a pointer that points to the next node. So let's say you created another node. So we have here 5, and then uh this will be your new head now, and this points to this node here. And then let's say you are going to insert, or we have just inserted 3 as the new node, and then this points to the next node, which is the head now is going to point this node right here, and then this node right here will point to this node. So making it like 3, 5, and 7 list. Okay, 7 nodes in our list. Okay, so again, so that is the add at first with the traverse node. Now let's get to see how this L node works. I mean, by looking at the by looking at the addresses. Okay, so we can actually include here in our traverse method. So let's say we are going to include here the node by putting here like this one will be the first node of this. Okay, and then this is like, say for an instance, this will be the node, and the I mean this is the first node with the data plus the link that as address to it. So which is the address of this node, no? And then after that, we are going to put here a thing like that. So to simulate a node, okay? So the data plus the pointer that points to the next node. And then to, of course, to determine the head, we'll have to go here, the head node, head that, the head, okay, head that, sorry, wait, head plus, so going to point to the hole. All right, so let's go back and run our program. This would give us a, let's put here backslash n. Okay, so right here, what we can see is that the mm, our first node is 7 and it points to null. So the address of 7 and the address of this node is actually L node at 7344699F. That is what is assigned to our to this node by our program or our compiler. And then after that, we have here the since we inserted 3 as 5 rather. So since we inserted 5, mm, yeah, because we have here, let's remove the traverse first here. Para you'll have easily, para you can easily understand this one. So again, so this is the address of this node is L node at 7E. This is now changed so randomly 7A 9E 5FA. And then this is the actually the head address, and then it points to the next node which is 3, and then the this node has the address of like L node beside the data tree, and then this points to this node right here. So meaning the address of this one is this address. So again, to maintain the link between each node. So after that, the last node, which is 5, I mean, the next node, which is 5, is also has a pointer or an address that points to the next node, which is 7. So our last node is actually 7 because it is, we are actually implementing add at first here. So meaning every time you keep on adding a data or element to our node, it is going to be always assigned to be the head of that list. So therefore, 7 will become the end of the list. And then as you can see, 7 now points to null, means it means to say that this next pointer right here, this would mean that in our L node, we have here while link that equals to null, okay, while link that is equal to null, it upon traversing the list, our list, so visiting each node, once it recognizes the null pointer, it means our loop will exit or uh, yeah, exit or will end its execution. So again, this node 7 and which has address of null will have the address of this one, and then this node the address is actually this one, and then this node the address is actually this one. So again, this points to this one, to this node, this node points to this node, and this node points to this node. And this node points to null, means points to nothing. There's no node after that. Okay, so I just hope you understand our linked list, which we have actually done here added first and traversals. That is for us to determine whether we successfully inserted a node to a list using add at first operation. So I guess that would be all for now, and see you in my next tutorials. Thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.